Hi, so in this video we're going to be making Potato and Leek Soup. This is focused on seasonal and local food. All these vegetables are in season and we've sourced them from Kirkcaldy farm, which is around about 20 miles from here. So first we'll need to prep the veg. So here's the veg we've got to make the soup. This is just some cooked new potatoes. You can use raw ones, you just need to cook them for longer when you're making the soup. Some nice carrots, some thyme for the garden, leek for the garden, onions. So start with the onions first. Take the top and the tail, keeping the trimmings for the stalk. Once they're peeled, just want to dice them. So it's worth trying to get your onions kind of same size. Right, so that's the onions done. Now we've got some celery. Again, great for stock. Celery takes a little bit of cooking, so it's the finer you can dice this, the better I find. So, small dice. Just a little bit more. So that's probably enough celery for this. Just put that in with the onions. So you want to have all your vegetables prepped, so when it comes to cooking it, it's nice and easy. So take the darker leaves off, keep this for again stalks. Then if you cut your leek in half like this, just give it a wash, just check it's right. So take that out of the leaf. So I tend to cut my leeks here, and this you can just sort of slice roughly so you've got nice bits of leeks. And the darker green leaves, they need to be sliced a little bit finer, just because they're a lot more fibrous. So the finer you can slice these, the better they'll be when they're cooked. So obviously it is a Potato and Leek soup, so you need to make sure you've got plenty of leeks. This is going to be just over like one big portion, so it's almost a whole leek. Right, so we've got the onions, the leek and the celery in there. Now for the carrot. So this is a nice carrot. You can see the difference in colour compared to some of the ones that you get from supermarkets. So even after peeling this carrot, you can smell the difference. It's got a strong carrot smell, which means that's going to translate into flavour when you make the soup. So I'm going to cut this into wee strips. So just cut thin. Right, so that's our vegetables prepped. We've also got a bit of thyme for the garden that we'll be putting in. So make sure you've got everything ready to go, then it's just a matter of cooking it. Right, so now we've got all the vegetables prepped, just in case of putting everything together. So we've got a nice hot pan, a little bit of oil. And just give that a few seconds just for the oil to get hot. We'll go in with the leeks, onions and celery first. Also the carrots. Got a wee bit fresh thyme here, so we'll just put this in. So at this stage we'll want to cook this until all the vegetables become nice and soft and release all their flavours. There's a little bit of garlic in there also. So after 3 or 4 minutes, 4 or 5 minutes, just gently cooking these, you'll see the vegetables have become nice and soft. The smell's there. So still on a high heat. These are just the potatoes that were cooked, left over. So just break them up. I quite like big chunks. You can break them down as much as you like. And as I say, if you're using raw potatoes, you just put raw potatoes in at this stage and you'll just need to cook them for longer. But it's a great way to use up leftover potatoes. Right, so once they're in there, just add a bit of seasoning just now. So a wee bit of salt, a wee bit of pepper. Quite like pepper in my Potato and Leek Soup. So all it's left to do now is just to add a little bit of stock. So because the potatoes are cooked, the vegetables are cooked, this is really just heating the potatoes through, just letting them take on some of the flavour. Just let that bubble away for another 3 or 4 minutes. Right, so once the potatoes have started to cook and soften up a little bit, I like to just get a potato masher, just to gently break. Just gives the soup a wee bit of body. And there we have it. So we've got a nice hearty soup there, and it's most of the vegetables here are made for the local area. So there we go, Potato and Leek Soup.